I think we need to. I mean, we can take it off,
Well, I go with.
but then we need to stand.
Hello and welcome to this online edition of Art Battle London. We are live for the event there. Looking forward to an incredible lineup of artists. I have with me today co-hosting Simon Plashkiz, Art Battle co-founder. Hi, Simon.
Hello, hello. Hi, nice to be here.
And who are you excited to see tonight?
Well, I have to say that the first name that popped out for me was Valdengrave Okomu because I know that he painted in Canada. I think he painted in Edmonton and then in Toronto. So I did a bit of a double take when I read the list. Obviously, he's a world traveler and a fantastic artist. So very excited to see Valdengrave painting this evening.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure we'll mention it again as we see him get to the easel. But he was actually in the 2018 Canadian National Championship.
Oh my God, these artists are in trouble.
Right?
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, there's some fantastic artists here, and we'll get to talking about all of them, of course. But he's definitely a bit of a favorite here tonight. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. So we're just seeing people kind of filtering in, welcoming themselves to the art of the event. We're at the Boston Music Room tonight.
Yeah, great spot. It looks like I love London. It's a great place to go, and it's a very supportive city for art. And as you can see, there are a lot of folks there tonight, ready to go and see these artists show us what they got.
Yeah, I've yet to go and visit myself. But funnily enough, as we're doing the live stream for London today, I also have a show. I have a piece in a show opening in London today.
Oh my God, that's so fantastic and very time relevant.
Right? It's
where is it? Yeah, go ahead.
It's at JM Gallery in Notting Hill, and it's put on by the wonderful people at 4x6. And it's paintings on metal panels that were cut away from red tourist buses, and then sent to artists all over the world.
They sent you one of those, you painted on it, and then sent it back?
Yep, absolutely. And it's a live charity auction to benefit people experiencing homelessness in London.
Oh my God, that's so great. Where can we see a link to it on your Instagram? Or
Yep, I am at Morgan Booth Art on Instagram, and there's all the relevant links there. And if you happen to be in Notting Hill and go to see the show, my piece is The Blue Person. Of course.
As usual, Morgan is a bit of a bluist. I'm not sure how many of you were here with us on the Chicago stream that Chris and Morgan did together, but the important new term, new to me anyway, of bluists is basically supporters of the color blue, which Morgan certainly is.
I think that is a new term. I don't think you're missing out on that, but we're gonna make it happen. We're making it happen. Bluists.
Yeah, well, I never graduated from art school, so I didn't know if it was in there.
Art school dropout, represent.
Art school dropouts.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I think a lot of great artists are art school dropouts. So we should start asking on the bios: are you an art school dropout? So we can categorize who is and who is not. We could actually do some, now we're geeking out, but the show hasn't really started yet. We could do some pretty good statistical analysis to see how many more votes on average people who were dropouts got versus people who finished.
Hilarious. That would be a really hilarious art battle metric. And then we could have a championship of those with degrees and those without.
Oh, there's something very weird and classist about that.
I know, that's why it makes me feel dirty.
Yeah, maybe we'll leave. Yeah, it's true. A good artist is supposed to do that. That's an interesting point, Morgan. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think our timer is mostly accurate. We should be ready to go in just a couple of minutes. You can see there's some movement on stage, and our camera's coming alive here. Let's give us a brief trip back to the startup and intro to this show as we go. And London Bridge. We are well after sunset right about there in London right now, and now we are live Oh, I was surprised there because I'm seeing a painting already. But of course, we have a featured artist who's been working, obviously off camera to us.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that featured artist?
Bringing that energy.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, getting some spatter action going there. I'm into it. I wonder how long this person has been going. And we'll have their name for you in just a moment.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something else from going on that London scene. Gina, give us a hand. When you get a second, maybe you could throw the name of this lovely artist who's doing what looks to be like sort of an abstracted skull. Is that me reading into it too much, Morgan? I'm not sure.
It might be you reading into it, but I think it's a pretty good reading. And that is Bruno Nital.
Oh, Bruno Natal, of
Yeah.
course. Great. And also did the painting that's in the auction of Doge, if I'm saying that right, the Doge dog from Dogecoin.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure there's
amazing. I saw that piece
right.
earlier.
Yeah, so we get to see a time limited piece. I think it's a 20-minute piece. Looks
Mm-hmm.
about so, and then a long form work, which is very relevant to the room tonight.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're pretty happy to have the folks from the Dogecoin Foundation in support of the event in Art Battle tonight. You wouldn't even you wouldn't guess it, but it's a fantastic thing, and it gives us the opportunity to accept a Dogecoin at the auction tonight, which is kind of a neat thing we haven't tried before. Cryptocurrency. Maybe
Wow,
next
that's
these all things
cool.
are all going to be NFTs. Yeah, it is cool. It's cool. And I think what's really cool about it is it's very international. It's really like the whole decentralized nature of cryptocurrency is it makes us all one in a way. I mean, there's so that's kind of neat, and of course that's what we're also trying to do at Art Battle.
Yeah, absolutely. We're living in the future here. Looks like they
I
are
think,
starting to get ready.
yeah, we're seeing something going on here. Oh yeah, they're on stage,
Okay,
and
let's
we'll
bring the venue volume.
yeah, go for it. I'll get that. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I apologize for the long wait in the queue. There's still quite a few people waiting because we're being a little bit thorough, big event after COVID and all. And this is our first time working with the Boston Music Group. Thank you so much for having us here. Yes! And hopefully you'll have us again. Anyway, we are running a little bit delayed, so what I'm going to do is say, hi, my name's Alice. And this is the first ever art battle event that is part of the International Art Battle tournament that is taking place in London, which is super exciting. We will start with a little bit of a delay, but I will be on the mic shortly and I'll let you drink and enjoy and be merry. Take care.
Okay. There you go. As you hear, we're in a bit of a delay. No problem at all. We got great video from there, and Morgan, I'm sure we have lots to talk about. Morgan, did you watch the Art Battle event in Wichita Falls?
I did. That was a really, really fun event.
Yeah,
So
that
you
was
were
really
actually
something.
on site for that event.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was I was the camera person for that event. I was down in Wichita Falls checking it out, and actually, the reason Wichita Falls is so fantastic is because, well, for one, they've run a lot of really fantastic art battles with really great artists and pretty substantial audiences. I think there were almost 500 people in the room at that Wichita Falls event, and so with such incredible community support down there in Texas, we are going to have the national championships for Art Battle, the U.S. National Championships, there on April the 2nd of the coming year, 2022. And that's the very best from the Art Battle tournament from many, many cities across the nation, from San Francisco, Boston, New York, Florida, Texas. We got a Washington State final, a whole bunch more, and all those artists are going to get together for a big national championship on April the 2nd.
Oh man, that's exciting.
It is exciting. It's really something. Of course, it was delayed from COVID, and it was scheduled to be, in 2019, I guess, including the full World Championships, Japan tour, nations, national tournaments, and I believe 12 cities. Anyway, yeah, so it's back, and it's very exciting. You can see all these people on camera here having such a great time. Look, a few masks, a few masks. But it's so nice to be able to be back together like it was before all that.
Yeah, everyone's just catching the art vibe in here. I think everyone's just really happy to be
Oh,
together
and look at that
checking things
the
out.
beautiful table of Dowler Rowney materials in the center there, the cornucopia of art that sometimes we get to put in the center of the easels. A lot of really great materials there from our friends at Dowler Rowney who supplied all that, and including some gifts for the artists to take home to help them make the best art that they can.
Oh, excellent. I love that. I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone watching remembers the cornucopia scene in Hunger Games. I hope it's not that cutthroat, everyone reaching for the markers in the middle.
I don't know. I hope not.
Art battle!
I think there's enough there. I think there's enough there that everybody can play nice. It's probably going to be okay.
But not too nice, I hope. I'm here for the battle. I'm
we
here for the battle,
we
guys.
call it art battle, but it really is a lot closer to art friendship. The number of artists that I saw hugging at these recent battles in Chicago and in Wichita Falls, like they're really in it together. So
Oh, yeah.
I
There's a
hope
ton
there's
of
no bloodshed,
camaraderie.
yeah. But London's a special city, so you never know.
So, do you want to chat about the artists that we have coming up in this first round?
Sure.
So
Why
at
not?
easel number 1, we're going to have Henry Haight. And I was looking at Henry's work earlier, and very pop art influence. I'm really excited about that. Super bright, vibrant palette, and he also tends to kind of make some cheeky references to art history, so that would be really cool.
I read that he's a tattoo artist as well.
Oh, yeah. Photographer,
Yeah, and
sculptor, painter, printmaker, tattoo artist. Dang.
Right.
Dang, Henry.
Tattoo artists have. I don't know if it's that they have a huge advantage or that they do well. They do very well at Art Battle. If you have that sort of precision line work technique, and it's very easy to scale that up to do a 20-minute painting and have it be really precise and stunning.
Yeah.
So very excited to see what will come out of Henry.
That's a great point. I think tattoo artists also have an advantage in that they're really used to doing quick turnarounds on concepts.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody walks in and says, "I'm looking for a butterfly." They got to go to it.
All of the tattoo artists that I know hate tattooing butterflies.
Of course.
Okay, and at easel number 2, we have Mark Sloey. Mark is a mixed media artist who is into abstract expressionism, and I think as we were passing around the easels that he is the artist that has that Guy Fawkes mask that he's decorated and is hung on the easel. So we're going to get some statement work from him tonight, I think.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it was just past Guy Fawkes Day over there in the UK. Guy Fawkes masks and Guy Fawkes Day always make me think of V for Vendetta now. I just can't see anything else in it.
Yeah,
God,
totally.
I love that movie. It's great.
And at easel number 3, we have Diana Zada. And she describes herself as an acrylic fantasist, creating from daydreams. That I know, that's quite the beautiful language.
And I mean the two words together from really different areas of thought.
Mm-hmm.
So very cool. Like acrylic. She could just be a fantasist, but no, she's an acrylic fantasist. Yeah. So that's very cool.
Into it. And then we've got Julian Art Jazz, who describes his work as being very punk rock, graphic novel inspired, and really checking out his work is amazing with so many different media, digital, ink work, paint. Julian Art Jazz.
Well, it's a hell of a last name. I mean, like Art Jazz. I imagine him finishing a couple minutes early and then doing Art Jazz hands for a while. So
I'd be into that.
yeah,
I encourage that. We always encourage art jazz hands. And then we have Thomas Mcdermott, and he has a background in animation. And checking out some of his work, his line work is really gestural, so I think we're going to get a piece that has like really beautiful movement coming out of it. And
fantastic.
And then Arietta Chandrice.
Sorry, who was that?
That was
I was making a note of something else.
Thomas Mcdermott.
Cool. What easel?
Easel 5 in round 1. And then at easel 6, we have Arietta Chandrice.
Thomas, I see noted here. I have to mention because it's one of my. He's a fan of messy materials, which is a very brave thing for an art battle producer in a local city to book someone who he's written in the info about them that they like to make a mess. So, but I do see they have plastic sheeting down. Usually we do canvas, but plastic sheeting is good if somebody has declared a mess to be had.
Yeah, we're very familiar with cleaning up artist messes. Sometimes the best creativity does not stay necessarily contained to the canvas.
Well, in the end, though, dear audience, please, it's important that you vote for the painting. We're looking for, it's a painting competition, the specific piece. So if the artist makes a big portrait or a mural or a mess on the ground, you can't vote for the ground.
And then our last artist in round number 1 is Arietta Chandrice, and she actually has a background in anthropology. And so a lot of her work are portraits and people interacting and exploring that kind of human relationship.
Historicals?
Not historicals, like portraits. Just not historical portraits, just portraits, people, the human experience.
I see. Oh, right. Anthropology. Oh, interesting. And did you say people interacting?
Yes. So exploring the relationship between people. And multi-figurative works are really difficult, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because the scale problem is so strange. Like, unless they're not going to be on the perfect same plane, so that's a very tough thing to deal with.
So we'll see if she does a multi-figurative work tonight, or if she does a singular figurative, or if she goes figurative at all. Everybody has the potential to be throwing us curveballs.
I mean, absolutely, but figurative is a safe bet. People love to see the portraits and human figures in what they're doing. So,
yeah, and it's interesting geographically that the farther that we get away from an urban center, the less figurative work that we see.
You're pointing to the phenomena where we're out in the country and we see a lot of livestock on the canvas.
Yeah, florals, livestock. If you're out on the East Coast, you tend to see a lot of sea scenes. And the West Coast, you get a lot of mountains. And then wherever there's like urban centers, people are really focused on like faces. So it's interesting to
well, I guess it's just the landscape of the city is, architecture and people, and the landscape of the country is, well, real landscape.
Yeah. So so I think that we're going to see a lot of figurative work tonight, and I think we're going to see a lot of poppy art, really brightly colored pop cultural referential art tonight. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Who was the artist? Danny Nielsen comic book and Japanese video game stuff. That I'm very excited about her work.
Yeah, that's going to be cool for sure.
Fantastic. Well, we got 16 people watching on Facebook at this point, still to get started. But if you wanted to say hi, we would be happy to, answer questions or, finish a joke or whatever it is that our folks on Facebook are thinking about and looking at. Come say hi.
Yeah, we love hearing your thoughts in the comments. And for everybody that's watching, make sure that you go to artbattle.com/vote. And once the painting begins, you'll be able to vote for your favorite artist. You'll be able to bid on the works. It's really exciting.
It is exciting. I'll tell you, if you're not in the UK, you might have trouble with that, though. Give it a shot, but the phone number that sends out the codes to do that access is a UK number, and it may not work. It may not get to you. But if you're having trouble, let us know in the comments. Maybe we can find a way to sneak you in.
Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, looks like we're starting to see people gathering more closely around the easels.
I'm just in communication here with our friend Harry, Harry Bristol, who runs Art Battle Bristol. He's watching with us tonight. Hey, Harry, how's it going? Very exciting. We got the Bristol event coming up on December the 4th. That's Saturday, December the 4th. And Morgan, I think you're hosting that for the live stream. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Another exciting show.
Great. Yeah, it's really fun to be able to see this much close-up painting detail from so many events. I mean, it used to be, you'd see photos 3 days later, and you're like, oh, geez, wow, that was really cool. But as the pace of technology is going on, we are much more able to. I mean, we're practically there.
For sure.
Many time zones away.
And so
Very
much of the magic of Art Battle is the witnessing of creation of the works. So it's incredible to be able to do that from all over the world via the internet.
Via the internet, yeah. We've got Art Battle is big in Japan, as they say. Got a number of Japanese events coming up next year. Tokyo, Osaka, a few more. And we're even going to be able to experience those. So that'll be very neat. I hope that you and I get the chance to host one of the events where it's all happening in Japanese and we have to pretty much guess what's going on.
I can't wait. Ready for that challenge.
Great, cool. The site of the World Championships. The event's not booked. We're still rebooking from before, but we're all going to be heading to Tokyo. And anybody who's listening, we'll make sure to let you have the dates and share with you when we'll be there. And hope to see y'all in Tokyo.
Yeah, that'll be a super, super awesome show. Have you been to Tokyo before, Simon?
Yeah, I have. I've been to Japan twice, and once was a very quick trip, more of an extended layover, and then once I lived in the Tokyo Hilton for 10 days, and I love going to a place and staying in the same spot and really getting to know one area. Mm-hmm. And I feel thrilled to have been able to do that in Tokyo.
Very cool.
People taking pictures. What do you think this woman in front of us here is taking a picture of? The art that we were looking at before?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's what it is. Like, because she's
looking
time.
Up. So it's so high though. She's looking up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're low. Mm-hmm.
And everybody's looking.
Everybody's looking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is going on? Do you think we can safely unmute? Let's check.
Oh, we're on the stage. That's what's happening. We're on the stage right now. So they're looking at up at us. And I believe that we're getting some announcements right now.
We are. Here we go. Oh, shoot. Here we go.
On easel number 2, we've got Mark Sloey. On easel number 3, we've got Zada. That's a fun song to sing. On easel number 4, we've got Julian Art Jazz. On easel number 5, who is he? We got Thomas Mcdermott. And finally, for round 1, on easel number 6, we have Arietta Chandrice. I'm ready, Matt, you can help me with a little countdown. Do we feel like a little countdown today? Yeah? Excellent. So, okay, ready?
Yay!
Let's count it from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's play!
Oh, one of my favorite sounds. That countdown and then the ringing cry of "Let's paint."
Me too. Let's paint. That's great.
Kicking out.
That was Chris who originally came up with that one. That was really something. That's gone around the world.
It's so
I think we
good.
saw an artist start a couple seconds early there. See that as when we come around. I know it was just out of excitement, and it's all good, just a few seconds, but pretty funny. She and one of your bluists, of course.
And we're seeing some. This person is drawing, having a little trouble seeing the easel number, but I'm sure that we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we will. This is this Veldengrave?
No, Veldengrave is in round 2.
Oh, of course. Wow, this is fantastic. So a lot of that's some wet paint right there. We're seeing all in a monochrome palette, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
Heavy bottom. Could be seeing figures. Yeah. Here's our artist friend. Oh, here that's easel 1. That's
that's easel 6.
No?
Arietta. So Arietta's
Okay,
working
that's
on
easel.
what looks like a sky.
Yeah.
And then we've got, this is Henry Haight.
This is Henry Haight. Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
I mean, Henry is already got a full portrait done.
Yeah. Off to a really strong start. I love the blue and the yellow.
And look at this border as well. All of these artists have incredible fast background and border technique. I mean, that's amazing. It looks like it's airbrush. I don't even know if that's possible.
So
Maybe
I think that Mark Sloey is using a little bit of spray paint, and just
great.
really impressed with the coverage and how many colors he's used already, because we're 2 minutes in. We're literally 2 minutes in.
Yeah. Oh, I like this palette.
This is Diana Zada.
Yeah. Fantastic. Another figure, I think, obviously there. Another portrait looks like coming up on the next easel.
From Julian Art Jazz. Oh, yeah. Loving that line work. Definitely using a flat brush. Oh, not a flat brush.
A
flat
paint
tip marker. And getting these super crispy, angular lines.
Yeah. For anybody who's been painting with Art Battle for a long time, recently the rules are full open materials rules. Artists are allowed to use a very wide range of materials. We provide some, the artists bring some as well. You even see a little bit of spray paint there. Spray paint sometimes restricted because of depending on the venue and the venue requirements. We have to consider the health and safety, but water-based spray paint as an accent is encouraged.
And an exciting addition.
An exciting addition. Yeah.
We'll see if I'm brave enough to bring my cans to the easel one day. And check out what Arietta's doing here.
Yeah.
With bringing in some foliage, looks like.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at some kind of a tree or maybe a bonsai. Yeah. Oh, lot of color choice there. This is Henry Haight, right? Yeah. Wow. What a strong start. Look at that.
Yeah, really
very clearly defined. Usually you might see an artist who, does a quick line work portrait, and it's there. It's clearly the portrait, but the accent colors that sort of bring it alive are they've already completely filled it out. It's very interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, I love that that painterly technique of just putting in all of these colors that you wouldn't necessarily assume belong in that spot, but it comes together. Yeah.
And this is more of a classic portrait, how we see the portraits start in a classic Art Battle sense. But there's a more performative element to what we saw over on Henry's piece. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a 3D painting. You're going to be able to put on 3D glasses, and you'll see the depth.
This is
wow.
so cheeky. I love it.
A 3D painting with a person with 3D goggles looking out of the painting. That is, never seen that before. That's a great one.
Amazing. And is this Thomas McDermott? I believe.
I'm not sure,
Yes,
but
it is.
I like the palette. It's it's a little bit messy. I have to see how he deals with that.
Yeah, we were seeing him earlier working with his fingers with the paint.
Oh yeah. It's always a risky move, especially early on. Oh, looks like we lost. Okay, and we're back here. Great.
And Arietta and her foliage, and now we're back to Henry Haight and his kind of Francois Nile kind of style
Yeah.
piece, I'm thinking. If you're familiar with that artist, they use a lot
No,
of
I'm not, but
swipes of color in unexpected places.
well, that's just definitely what we're seeing there. Oh yeah, I know who you mean now.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic technique. This must have been airbrush or something like it. This border, it's too blurry.
Yeah, I think that's the can. I think that's the can.
Oh, that's the can. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And we're getting this side profile and two side profile portraits right next to each other, both facing the same direction. And I bet that these artists have no idea what the other one's painting, and they're going to be so surprised.
Oh my
when
God,
they
it's
step
so
back.
common. It's so common. I love it.
Mhm.
One of my favorite tricks, and you see it every once in a while, is an artist using the artist next to them as a reference and painting a portrait of that artist.
Yeah.
Now that is very meta and like a little bit competitive aggressive, especially if you win painting somebody else.
Yeah. I've seen that happen before too, and you watch the artist who was the subject step back and realize that they were just being painted live.
Right.
And you see the confusion, but then like they're excited that they were turned into an art piece.
It's very cheeky. It's you got the right sense of humor all around, and it's a really good time.
Okay, and now we're seeing kind of the evolution of Thomas's piece. A lot of gray in the background, and now these pops of colors coming through. So Thomas, I believe, was the artist that we were talking about that was very gestural. So he's staying true to that.
Oh yeah, very good.
So Arietta's styled strategy here was creating the atmosphere for her sky super, super quickly. I think that she got that done in almost the first 2 minutes, and now she's just spending the rest of her time rendering and paying attention to the details.
And you could tell from the sheen that you're seeing off of it. I mean, I think it was a very thin application, and it's pretty close to drying.
Yeah.
And she was also the one who started a couple seconds early.
Mm-hmm.
She had that thing almost done in the first, you said minutes, but most of it was probably done even sooner than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a smart move, because you don't want to see a lot of white space, and it gives the audience something to, they really know where it's going, and they can follow along with the journey.
Yeah, and with Henry here, I'm loving the cut of chartreuse that he's cut around the side of the face there. It just really makes it pop.
Yes. We are on pause here for a second.
Just means that we'll get a little jump when we pop back in of
Yeah, exactly.
of
We'll
the
be able to
pieces.
see it to come into progress. Exactly. Well, this has already been really a fantastic round. If you're in the UK, you would be very welcome to come and vote and bid with us at artbattle.com/vote. You can put in your mobile phone number, and you'll get a special text message, and that's how you vote and bid. And we have 3 rounds of competition that are coming tonight. This is the middle of the first round, or 11 minutes left in the first round, and so we have 6 more artists, and then the top 4, the winners, go on to compete in the final round. And there's our jump, Morgan.
Yep, and now we get to check out the progress of these pieces. It looks like Diana's got a lot going on. She's got a red hair flip going on from her portrait.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I'm loving
Wow.
this technique. That's so
Oh
cool.
my God, it's genius. And I'm only gonna guess a blue stripe is coming next.
Julian
Wow.
is bringing the art jazz. He's
This is
true
the
to his
art.
name.
Yeah, but it's actually a more modern and like evolved jazz. It's not
Yeah.
jazz hands, which is kind of cheesy. This is like really cool, current 2022 jazz.
Yeah, very illustrative, and then bringing it into that painterly realm with the
What are
spray
we
paint.
seeing here? This is obviously some kind of a claw.
A
It
dragon
almost looks
claw?
like a sigil, a dragon claw. It's definitely very Wiccan, which I think is pretty neat. Maybe
Hmm.
it'll cast a spell on the room.
Well, I think we're all spellbound right now, checking out the halfway point of the first round. And I
Yeah.
have to
Oh,
say, I'm just loving Henry's, and I'm always a sucker for a great portrait. I think that Henry's doing great, um, and just I feel that this piece is really connecting.
definitely.
And we've
This
got
is great too. Remind me of the name of this artist in
this
the
is
mask?
Mark Sloey.
Mark Sloey. Great.
And I wonder if he's having any trouble seeing through that mask.
Seeing.
That's a challenge. That is a challenge in
Yeah.
itself. And he's brought his own extra challenge to our battle. I like it.
Okay, and this portrait is really came out of that left side and connected story wise with the whole piece. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Diana. Really cool. The way that she started it off, and to me, it seemed like a really serene piece, and now we're getting this kind of chaotic energy.
Hmm.
And again, more of this, like, guys, art battle people, art battle painters, pay attention. Like, this technique is cool.
Yeah, it's really something.
Take notes.
Take notes. That the spray line overlay with a straight edge blocker is that's a got to go in the pro tool bag.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Austin Kleon book, Good Artists Steal. I'm like, steal that technique, guys. That's good.
Well, that's actually one of the exciting things about art battle, especially if you're an artist. I mean, is a completely a technique. Let's call it stealing to continue with the subject at hand, but a technique stealing. You want to bring your best, but you have to reveal it to everybody what you're doing. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting to let other people catch up in that way.
Yeah, and you're getting kind of your techniques revealed too, because so many artists are just alone in our studios and we're not necessarily seeing exactly how the other
Right.
people are working. And now it's on display.
On display. It's right up there. Okay. Well,
Currently less on display.
the woman who's doing the on the right side here, the
Hmm.
frame, that remind me who that is, Morgan?
That's Arietta.
Right, of course. You've said that 5 times. Her piece is really coming along nicely. It's the time that she gave herself to focus on the plant, the tree, whatever it is we're looking at,
Hmm.
is has really paid off because it's getting into a lot of detailed work with 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, 7 minutes remaining. You're already really committed to your piece. You should have basically all of the parts of the piece established and then be using the last 5 minutes, at least in my opinion, for rendering and getting your details correct. But sometimes we see artists pull out some crazy tricks in the last 5 minutes. I've seen some interesting things happen there.
Well, it's those are really audience favorites. You think you're seeing one thing and then you go to the next. My favorite ever of that was in that little secret art battle with Brian Belanger setting up his palette as the inverse image, painted the whole outline, and then smushed the palette on in the end. And what you ended up seeing was a clown and the eyeballs and the eyes and even the black part in the middle of the eye. It all came out just perfectly. And
I remember that. That was really striking, and such a so much of Art Battle is, yes, creating a really a beautiful piece, but also you're being observed, so you're creating it hopefully in an interesting way, in a way that's engaging to the audience. I think that Julian has definitely hit it out of the park for that aspect in this round. Very engaging to the audience the different techniques that he's using, the layering and yeah, just kind of that unconventional use of the spray paint. And here we are again with Arietta. And Thomas. And I think you're right that it is some sort of claw/sigil.
Yeah, it's the background makes a lot more sense to me now because that started off and I was like, oh, that's a bit of a blurry background, but it's actually sort of intentionally blurry to give a bit of depth of field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Arietta has a real advantage here because anybody who's not into portraits, that's like another sort of classic painting subject to be focused on, which is a flowering plant. And so there might be a lot of flower fans in the audience who are drawn to that painting.
Yeah, that's a good call. She's capturing almost that side of the voting market there.
Yeah, exactly. If we're not careful, we're going to have people in there doing surveys of people's preferences to feed to the artists so that they can.
I've seen artists going around asking. I have seen
of course
at Battle being like, "What do you guys think I should paint? Should I paint an animal? Should I do a landscape? Should I do a beautiful woman?" And
that's smart. And if enough people say beautiful woman, and also of course they're going to vote for you because you were kind enough to go around and consider their opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, that's funny.
You're getting a pre-commitment there. Campaigning almost. Do I have your vote? If I paint,
do I have your vote? Exactly. And as long as you don't completely, screw it up, you're definitely good to go on that. We have some between rounds. I think we're going to show you some footage from the recent Chicago event. So if you want, stick around as we get ready for the second round, which should be this round is over in about 3.5 minutes, and then we'll show you some of that. See what we can do about this video skipping as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Chicago event was a really strong one as well. So it'll be fun to throw to that.
Cool. I'm in touch with our cameraman. He's going to try a couple of different tricks here to get us back online. But it's nice we're left on this frozen image. I love it when artists take it to the ground, when they have the piece and it's on the easel, and to do what they need to do, they just need, they need the earth beneath them for gravity reasons or otherwise. And but it's really, you're really into it. It's not a casual move to take your painting off the easel and put it on the ground.
Yeah, it becomes like this physical act, finishing the painting, and you know that they're really in that intense space.
Yes, exactly. And of course we're with them. Oh my God, speaking of intense space, look at Henry's work here. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
this is
awesome.
Magazine cover. Really, really beautiful. Yeah. Really impressive color. The color selection is fantastic.
Yeah, the color selection's awesome. And something that I think is really impressive is that this is reflective of Henry's studio work as well. So sometimes we'll see that the artist's personal style might not necessarily translate to 20 minutes. In this case, it has. You can tell that this is a Henry Haight piece.
Yes. Well, that's fantastic for all the collectors out there because, as you say, Morgan, it's one thing you get an art battle piece from an artist. It's kind of like going to see a DJ show and they do a DJ set and it sounds nothing like their own music. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But here we have a true Henry Haight piece, and which is a very collectible piece. So.
Yeah, and a great way to start your collection too, getting in on in this accessible
on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple hundred people in the room there tonight, but that's still a great opportunity in the auction.
And cool that Diana has thrown those flowers into the hair. I did not expect that. And then we've got
I didn't expect that either.
And then we've got Julian, just like feels really casual, not rushed, but very, very tight work. Just putting his little finishing touches on there. And then Tomas has really created a little bit more chaos for us here.
Yes.
And the energy of this piece is just like
It's
screaming at
very
me.
interesting. It's almost an abstract, you know? Like I'm not really sure, at least maybe it hasn't come through yet, but I'm not really sure what the message beyond beyond the obvious foreground sort of sigil talon dragon piece. But there's a bit of an abstract element to it in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Arietta here, very technically proficient, and great work there. I think that's going to attract a fair number of votes.
Me too, and the kind of fuchsia foliage that she's gone for. And then we're also seeing fuchsia being used in Henry's piece, and I'm really liking the way that it's dripping almost where it's not supposed to, but in a awesome way.
Yeah, it's a painter's painting. It's a painting, and it calls out to you in that way. Whereas this, for example, there's maybe other ways that the image could have been created.
Yeah, with this piece, the textural elements I think are the most interesting.
Oh man, this 3D piece is going to be just incredible. I hope somebody out there is going to pop on some 3D glasses and let us know. I don't have any of the red blue style in there, but we're going to put good photos of this into the voting and bidding system. So somebody please pop on some 3D glasses and let us know how it looks.
Just see how it translates. I love that the echo of the face through the sunglasses has been left blue. Just really interesting little bits. I always pick my favorite almost like 2 square inches of a painting every time I look at one.
That.
And that to me is the most interesting little pop of detail there.
Right, because it like expresses that we are looking through a lens that's manipulating the image.
Yeah. And Tomas has been really full body with this piece.
I think we're done here, by the way. I see our timer's gone, and the artists are relaxing. Oh man, he's glad to be done. That was a piece of work there. Great. So I'm going to throw on our little voting message here. You are very welcome to go to artbattle.com/vote to vote and bid on these paintings. You just throw in your phone number there and get right in. Our app is in the repair bay right now, and the app will be back live soon, and everybody everywhere will be able to vote on all of the art battles around the world. But right now it is UK focused. So if you're in the UK with us, head over to artbattle.com/vote and give it a shot there.
And if you are watching with us on Facebook, we want to hear who you like. So comment, tell us who you're digging.
Yeah, we want to know who you're voting for. Come on. We've got Anne says she loves Henry's. Henry's is great. And I think Henry, I see another comment here from Glenn Anderson about Henry. I think Henry's the man to beat in this round.
Yeah, I think Henry and Julian are just, I think they're the top dogs. That's my opinion anyway. The great thing about Art Battle is that we're taking into account everybody's opinion. So
everybody's opinion, and I'll tell you, we've already got 50 votes in, only a couple minutes into voting, and so we will see as the votes continue to roll in how we're looking, and we will announce the winners. We will announce the winners of this round at the end of the next round, actually. So that we can find out which 4 artists go all the way on to round 3, and all 4 artists find out at the same time, giving them an equal amount of preparation time, so that they may jump into that third round. The 4 artists in the third round together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be right back. We're gonna give a little intermission, and in a moment after we watch the scene here, we will pop up some of the work from the Wichita Falls event. Let's do Chicago. Actually, it seems more connected. Morgan, if you have any other thoughts, go for it. Otherwise, we'll go to a small break here.
I just wanted to shout out to our people watching at PBM TV. We will be back soon with more awesome painting.
They've been absolutely amazing. I do it myself, but they help me figure out who to reach out to and how to work smart on Instagram. It's organic. Thank you so much. All right, I will be on the mic in a minute to announce the artists.
Okay, well, there we go. We're approaching round two. Morgan Booth, how are you?
So good, so good. Looking forward to this round and some awesome artists coming up. Welcome back, everyone, to Art Battle London. We are live for their event. I'm checking out all of the badass artists that are stepping up to the easel tonight.
Who do you want to talk about? Who we've got for round two?
Okay, so for round number two, at easel number one, that's going to be Laura Greenway. Let me just pull up some info here. So Laura,
go ahead.
So Laura is a text-based artist who is exploring themes of disability and mental illness. So it'll be really interesting to see where she takes her work tonight and how that translates to the live arena.
Yeah, a challenging approach, but certainly it's a topic that's on many people's minds, and to be able to connect with people around it is both a sort of a public service, but also really appreciated in art.
Yeah, and she also is a performance artist, so I'm interested to see the energy that she brings to the performative painting. That'll be cool.
Yes, absolutely. And who's at easel two?
We've got Danny Nielsen, and she is a character and concept artist and an illustrator. And she's influenced by comic books and Japanese video game styles. Working
fantastic.
Mostly in a black and white palette, so we'll see if she brings some color or not. And she's doing a lot of focus on powerful female figures.
Fantastic.
So that's going to be really dope. And then... Pardon?
I was just going to say comic line work and... especially with like comic line work in italics, aka Japanese video game styles, is going to be. I think that's really going to connect with this audience.
Yeah, I think so too, and it'll be cool to see what tools she uses. Is she going to go with paint to create that line work, or are we going to see something similar to what Julian was doing in the first round, where he was going with markers? And then at easel number 3. Valdengrave Okumu. Okay, so Valdengrave. You know Valdengrave, I know Valdengrave. He took the Art Battle Canada community by storm, winning in Edmonton, represented Toronto in the 2018 National Championships. So Valdengrave's going to bring it, and Valdengrave's studio work is also really, really strong. He's he brings a realist style to surrealist work. So interesting, unconventional kind of situations, but executed in a realist style.
Wow. I mean, that's if any aspect of that can be translated to the 20-minute canvas, we're going to see quite the piece.
Yeah. So watch out. He also has a YouTube channel, so if you watch him here today and you're super stoked on his work and you want to learn how to paint like Valdengrave, he's on YouTube at Valdengrave Art.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. And then we have at easel number 4, Damien Burns. And Damien Burns is into drawing creatures, monsters, spaceships, a lot of unique characters that are kind of creepy, but in a really fun and playful way. And this is going to be really fun. I think this might be my favorite. My like. He's coming with a
Morgan,
Technicolor
I hate to interrupt.
beard.
I think we're getting into the announcements now.
Yep.
And Damien Burns is into drawing creatures, monsters, spaceships, a
Oh, you know what's just happened? We drew the wild card.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, it's a very tried and true Art Battle tradition to have a wild card at the events. That means we typically book 11 artists in advance. Those are artists who've applied at artbattle.com/art. And then we book 11 in advance, and anybody who we can't book or other artists who apply last minute, which is very common, we say, come on down because there's going to be a wild card. So we will draw, from the hat, as they say. We put everybody's names in a container and have an audience member draw one out, and there we go. I didn't catch the name, but we will no doubt get the wild card's name as we are coming up, and that wild card gets ready to paint in round 2.
And a brave soul to sign up for the wild card. You get picked out of the crowd and thrown right up to the easel.
I love it. That's how I prefer it. I've actually never been the wild card.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how I first met you guys. That's how I first got involved with Art Battle,
Right,
as
exactly,
a wild card artist.
You're one of our most famous wild cards ever.
And then I stuck around for 12 years.
Okay, next time you see how you got with a bigger smile.
You can't see me. The smile's here. The smile's here, people.
Okay.
All right, so let's finish up this lineup here. So Damien Burns, monsters, spaceships, a lot of creepy kind of illustrations. And his Instagram handle is actually and his Technicolor beard. And I have spied him in the audience.
He literally has a Technicolor beard.
It's great.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I've seen him in the audience so far. I picked him out because of the beard, obviously.
He looks good. He's got a cool jacket on.
Yeah.
He's he's a real artist there for sure.
So good. And then last but not least, we have Sem Arda. And Sem likes to paint portraits of iconic people, finding inspiration in their accomplishments, not necessarily like the fame and fortune of people. He likes to highlight people that have had an impact on society. So taking that kind of spin from pop culture.
Wow.
And then,
Great.
of course, our wild card.
Fantastic. The wild card. We have the wild cards win a lot. You'd think it's just some random person from the audience, but actually the pool of people in the audience there's a lot of great artists that come out to to watch, to learn techniques, to support their friends, to hope for the wild card. So it's not that uncommon. We actually had the wild card at the Midwest Regional Finals go on to compete. That's Paula Loomis.
Yeah.
To go on from the Midwest Regional Finals, entered as the wild card, to won the event, went to the national championships in LA, and made it to the final round.
So cool. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
And last month in Toronto, we actually had bona fide Art Battle All-Star Natasha Dishpan pulled out of the easel, and she ended up painting beside her boyfriend, who had been pre-selected.
She won, right?
She got into the final. She was not the winner this time, but I know that she'll be coming back. She'll be coming back.
Who is that artist, Morgan?
The
wild card who won?
She didn't win. She won and went to the final.
Right.
But the artist who won, that was Katie Lorraine Paquette.
Katie is going to be your co-host at Art Battle Toronto on Tuesday. Is that right?
We're going to be doing live commentary from the event on stage.
Very cool.
I'll be dodging paint droplets as they fly past my head so that I can co-comment for you guys on the internets.
Fantastic. And we're gonna get to see you guys live on video. It's been, the audience has asked, and we will respond. We will put a camera on our commentators, so we're not it's not just a radio show with some video. We'll do what we can anyway.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing live commentary from the event on stage. Yeah, so that'll be lots of fun. I love being in the energy of the room as well. For you guys on the internet.
Fantastic. And we're gonna get to see you guys live on video. Okay. See them getting going there. See if I think we might be. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. It's on.
Three, and I will divert and say that he's won Art Battle Toronto and Edmonton in Canada before. It is Valden Greenway. On easel before, we got the left Irish with Damien Burns. That's someone's popping up. On easel number 5, we have Sam Arda. And last but not least, on easel number 6, we have our wild card for the night. I should not have turned this on my God. Deborah Jam! Alright, I'm about to set the timer. 1 moment. Let's do a little countdown from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go!
And we're off.
Oh, I was muted. I was saying, and we're off, as you said, Morgan. Okay. Here we go. Somebody pick up this camera and get us over there.
Yeah, good vibes in the room though. I'm really
Yeah, Al's doing a great job.
liking-
That was her who just walked by. She has great hair.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got the countdown timer running. We are set to go here. I can only imagine our friend Casey is going to run over and pick up this camera at any moment and take us over to the action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you make that any detail? No, you can't tell what's going on.
No,
Valdengrave,
right now-
take us over to see Valdengrave.
Right?
Come on, our global traveling friend.
Yeah, right now I'm just admiring everybody's moves. Got some dance moves going. I wish I was there dancing with.
It's a dancing crowd for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, the DJ is doing a great job. For music licensing reasons, we can't share what the DJ is up to. You know, we'll get that taken care of one of these days. But right now, the music is too awesome, and it's illegal for us to share it with you on Facebook and YouTube. So what are you gonna do?
It's too awesome. It's dangerous. It'll blow your mind.
It's dangerous. We can't have your minds blown. No. No, exactly. Okay.
I think that I'd like to collect an Art Battle T-shirt from every city.
Well, they're so unique too because typically we don't make them centralized. So. Okay.
And as we are waiting to head on over to the easels, if you're watching with us online and you haven't registered to vote yet, if you are in the UK, you can vote with us today at artbattle.com/vote. All of the works created tonight are also up for silent auction, so you can bid on those
speaking of
works
which,
as well.
Let's take a look here while we have some time. You can see what the you can't make out those prices at all. But those are the paintings from the first round and our paintings in the subsequent rounds.
Looks like Henry Haight's piece is getting some action.
Yeah, I think that's in. Let's see if we can make this any bigger.
And the Doge painting. So
Doge
great.
painting. Somebody's got to get the Doge painting. Come on. I want the Doge painting if nobody else is going there.
It's so cheeky.
You can pay in Dogecoin. So, if you have anything to do with that, I mean, and you know what? You can pay a Dogecoin and then turn it into an NFT, and that will be totally fine. And then you can sell the NFT and keep the original and make an absolute fortune You got to bid on this right now. Pound sterling. All right, we're back to the action here. Bum, bum, bum.
Okay.
Here we are.
So we're just about
4
4
minutes
minutes
in.
in. Oh, I love some knife work.
But 4 minutes in, it's not a lot of great progress if you're using a knife. You could be able to cover it in 10 seconds with the right knife. Wow. This is a
Especially
very
when we're...
developed line work portrait here.
A lot. I think that's the best portrait I've ever seen in 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and now we got
Is this
Waldengrave.
Waldengrave?
Yep.
Oh my God! You remember? I can't even believe how similar these two paintings and positions are. He's at the same easel, and that's like not too dissimilar a portrait. That's a very interesting.
So cool.
Very interesting that Waldengrave stuck with that approach. It's almost like who did it better.
Yeah, and then we've got Damien and his Technicolor beard. Yes, so it looks like he's rocking this flaming red, bright orange, hot Cheeto
paint
beard.
Markers in precise, narrow tip paint markers. That's cool.
Yeah, you're paying attention to the right stuff. The art. I'm looking at the beard. And
okay, here we go.
So this is our wild card artist. This is Deborah.
Oh, okay.
Guyan.
It's the wild card. I was going to see what it say. I don't know. Is that going to be? Is it going to be what I think it is, or is it abstract?
Yeah.
It's hard to
tell. We'll circle back. We'll see.
We'll circle back on that one.
Oh, cool!
Cityscape with negative space.
Yeah, Laura Greenway.
God. Stop right now! Oh, that's incredible.
Be still, Simon's heart. I can tell you're
seriously,
excited.
Look at that. And it's obviously the London skyline. I'm not sure where the gherkin is, but it's got to be in there somewhere.
And
but,
and we saw this piece upside down on the first revolution.
That's why. That's why it looked.
And
whoa!
Here's Danny Nielsen. Just slaying right now with this line work, and then introducing some gradients. And she's the artist that's inspired by Japanese video games and comic books. So we're getting that vibe
makes
here.
Sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a higher resolution than I was thinking. This is like really, really detailed in that same style. That's cool.
Yeah.
The lips and the cheekbone structure make more sense to me now.
Yeah. And Waldengrave going down with some super bright portrait work here.
I cannot believe how similar that is to what we were seeing from Henry Haight in the first round.
Yeah. He's coming for you. Waldengrave's coming for you. He said, I saw that you did that. I can do that better. So, competition. All right, and now we're back on Damien Burns.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, that's really, really precise work. I really like the little pink touches that are on already. I mean, obviously, you could have added those later, and many artists would have, because it's sort of a flourish. But to bring it in now is a pleasing experience for the audience because not only do they know kind of where it's going, but it's a little bit more dynamic than just monochrome.
Yeah, and I like this kind of like hand thing that's reaching down. Now we're on our way over to Sem Arda. And this awesome lion portrait. So he does pop culture portraits usually of famous people in a black and white and yellow style. So we're not seeing a human portrait from him right now, but it is true to his style that this is his palette. So it's still very close to his studio work.
So the most famous line I know is like, Simba or Simba's dad. Do you think that's what's going on here, or am I just sheltered?
Yeah. Mufasa, is that you?
Mufasa, thank you.
Yeah, and adding in that pop of highlight and layering this gray over top of the yellow that's already wet. So is that gray going to be leaning green, or is it going to keep it fairly clean?
Yeah.
On our juicy palette here.
The paint looks great. A lot of that's Dalarani paint, acrylic paint from them. Thank you so much for the support and allowing us to give artists great materials to create beautiful works.
And they are using it well tonight. And also wanted to take an opportunity to shout out our PBM TV peeps. Thanks for watching with us and enjoying all of this beautiful artwork with us.
The paint looks great. A lot of that's Dalarani paint.
So we're at about the halfway mark. And now we're seeing Laura Greenway, true to her studio practice, adding in text elements. She describes herself as a text-based artist.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing this in here.
You know, I don't mind saying usually that really doesn't go over well at Art Battle, but this is looking good.
Yeah, I think when
There's something about usually it's like it's just a word or something like that, but this is like almost into some cross-disciplinary, poetry work there. We're gonna have to spend some time looking at what that says earlier.
Yeah, it's inviting you in to pick out what stands out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now we're getting these hits of color from Danny Nielsen. I love a green-eyed beauty.
Oof, that's great. Really, really nice timing with the audience as well. Just past the halfway mark, you indicate that you are, though people are thinking you're just going to go pure black and white. Now we have some real splashes in there. Nice.
Subtle, but still providing an element of surprise for the audience.
Yes.
Okay, and Valdengrave doing some blending on the canvas, creating some of those gradients that he's known so well for.
The audience as well, just past the halfway mark, you indicate that you are, though people are thinking you're just going to go pure black and white. Now we have some. I like the blending. In many cases, in the previous one, obviously it's hard not to compare it to Henry Haight, but it was nice that the pieces, the individual sort of strokes or areas stood out distinctly, but Valdengrave really has them blended together. He's blending them together in a way that sort of takes it to a different place.
Yeah, with his blends, he tends to kind of create the shape, the shadow and highlight, so you're getting the roundness of that cheek.
Nice.
Oh, and I like these hand kind of things from Damien Burns. Hands are hard to make, and so when you do a caricature of a hand, sometimes it can not look right, but he's exaggerated it in the right way here, I think. You know that it's not a realistic hand, but you get that it's a hand still.
Mm-hmm.
Just so happens to be coming out of the character's head.
Well, whatever this is, it looks a little crazy. I think that's certainly the intention here.
Yeah.
Bit of a wacky character.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if anybody who's watching knows. I mean, is that an artist created character, or it looks sort of iconic? So I wonder if there's a pop culture reference we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
Is this lion playing with balloons? What is that?
Oh,
it is
Disney. Yes.
Disney. So it is
Mufasa.
Mufasa. It's Mufasa hanging out with Mickey Mouse. We were talking earlier about what were there going to be two figures in it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it looks like Mickey is unhappy with Mufasa somehow.
Yeah.
With the hands on the hips.
He's intimidated or scolding.
Mm-hmm. Is this lion playing with balloons? What is that?
Okay, and we've got these kind of undulating flame things happening with Deborah Guyans, our wildcard artist. So I'm wondering what her studio practice looks like, if she has one, and where she's taking that inspiration from.
Yeah.
And this piece by Laura Greenway is just evolving in such a great way. She's done all of this text overlay, which is just so cool. It makes it its own thing. It's not necessarily telling you what to think. It's inviting you to take a closer look.
And the fact that it's a cityscape too, so it's not just abstracted. So there's probably some kind of an urbanization, city experience poetry included in that. I hope we can
there's
get somebody to get a good shot of that so we can read it to you.
there's a lot going on there. And now we've got Danny Nielsen bringing in the
she's
background.
Danny's, I mean, this is fantastic work. Danny is definitely one of the top contenders, if not clearly in the top two here. I think that people just love. They love a portrait, especially of a beautiful woman.
And she did a great job strategy-wise for this round, just creating so much good structure for herself to work off of in the first few minutes.
Yes, exactly.
And now Waldengrave really leaning into this painterly technique of blending on the canvas and kind of getting those soft brush strokes leading into each other.
His strategy around moving, focusing really in one area of the canvas and then moving on to the next is very interesting. I'm a bit more, ADD in my own approach all over the place, but this is very, very focused in one spot and then moving on to the next. And I think it's paying off because it feels it's very easy to enjoy it from sort of a time-lapse perspective.
Mm-hmm. And looks
Well,
like
this
our
is great work.
figure is eating littler figures
Drinking,
and holding
eating another figure, or it's a bottle. The bottle is an anthropomorphized bottle or something. I don't know.
the little character that's coming off of one of the arms in the bottom, intentionally or unintentionally, looks like a palette. Looks like the palettes that they're using.
Oh, it's very cool. It's a bit of a painting, robot.
Yeah.
Painting alien. Oh, very good.
Okay, and now we're back to Sam Arda. Just putting in those refining highlights on his Mufasa here.
It's so funny. Do they really? They look like they're not thrilled with each other. I can't help thinking that.
Yeah, Mickey
What is this conversation? Because obviously it's the wrong. Like they didn't ever exist in the same scenario. So this is like out of time and like multiverse where they're chatting with each other.
Yeah.
So this has become a bit of an abstract piece, and you know what? I think it's a very smart move on the behalf of our wild card here. To again focus in particular areas and sort of move out, because the white space at the top and the bottom is no problem, and so what you get there is she's had an opportunity to work and advance the piece sort of from the center moving out, and it really works nicely.
Yeah.
Oh look, we're getting the. Can we pause this? We're getting the what is. You go ahead, Morgan.
I can't see it anymore. But now I've got, what if I didn't wash my hands properly?
What if I didn't? Okay, so there you go.
Very topical.
Wow. Is it a question of like anxieties that are coming up, or is it COVID?
Or
focus?
both? Or is it
both?
up to the interpreter?
Right.
Yeah, I really feel like this
Is this the art? Is this Laura?
Yes. Oh, look, and she's
Okay.
written on her face as well. That's something that is in her studio work and her performance, is that she uses her body to express her text work as well.
Oh, very good. Well, I think that's a fantastic piece. That was the one I was in love with, the cityscape, even before anything else happened, and it's built up from there. So it's complex and multi-layered, and there's a stiff competition for this round too.
Yeah, and Laura's piece is the evolution of it too, and I feel like there's a lot of meaning in it, which can be difficult to translate to art battle. And so I think it's got more depth than just the aesthetic going for it. So it'll be interesting to see how the voters respond to that. And we've got just about 2 minutes left.
Holy moly, this is going to be a very tough choice for sure. I'm not even sure what to expect. We'll have to do a review of the first round and the second round as we're getting together to see what the who the top four are coming to the final round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of these guys have really brought their own style tonight. I think that's something that I've been really enjoying about this show in particular, is that a lot of the work that we've seen here tonight is true to the artist's studio work, is true to their own art style. there's yes, we're definitely seeing some battle strategy, but I think overwhelmingly these artists as we are true to their aesthetic. And I love seeing the way that the 20
Is this lion playing with balloons? What is that?
Next to
it is
Instagram, Disney. What else they're up to?
Disney.
So it is Mufasa.
Mufasa. It's Mufasa
bringing
hanging
it
out with Mickey Mouse. We were talking
brave at
earlier
the
about
easel,
what
showing
were
their
there
work.
going to be two figures in it.
Yeah.
And
yes,
lo and
absolutely.
behold.
So we've got here just doing a
like
little bit of
Mickey
replay
is
from earlier in the round.
with Mufasa somehow.
When we jump
Yeah.
forward, we
Put the hands on the hips.
He's intimidated or scolding.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Morgan, what do you think of this piece here?
Okay. I think that this is a really smart strategy for the wildcard artist to be going abstract, intuitive, because she's been thrown up there and it looks like she's just vibing off of the energy in the room and just creating this undulating colorscape that's just slowly starting to take over the canvas.
Well, Morgan, you're bang on there, and I also want to point out we've only got 25 seconds left.
Final brush strokes.
Very good.
It's the
Final
final
brush
brush
strokes.
strokes.
Look, that Daleroni cornucopia in the center there is, you can see there's a bit of a dent in it.
Nice.
The artist really enjoyed it in round one. So
Nice.
And here we are with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, brushes down. Brushes down, artists. There we go.
All right.
They're still painting.
I think that
Well, it's
we're
different time
we're
zones.
actually 20 seconds ahead of them
Oh, I see.
in our countdown. So these guys are now they're in the final brush strokes.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I like the way that they lit these guys as well. With this
Yeah, good
clip-on
work.
light
Good work by
technique.
our local team. The clip-on thing works, especially if you're, sort of a dark room vibe.
Wow, such a strong round. You can see Danny shaking her hands out after that concentrated
On easel
time.
number 2,
in
we've got
her brushing.
Dan Nielsen. On easel number 3,
Oh, so
we
good,
have
so
Baltic
She did a great job establishing the shadow.
The progression of that from an art battle perspective was fantastic. People are really going to dig that.
That Baldengrave really captured the highlights, I think, well, in this piece. And coming at it from that very painterly perspective.
This is a great piece. This is going to be a very tough vote for these audience members and for you online. Oh, I love the pink freckles. I don't know why.
I like that the
so
eyes.
much more depth to me.
I like that the eyes didn't get a black treatment around the iris. I think that makes it more interesting. And now we've got Sam Arda and his mystery Mufasa, mystery conflict Mufasa.
Fantastic.
Our wildcard artist Deborah Guyan.
Deborah did a great job. Oh, look, there she is there. What a sweetie. Oh, she's getting her picture taken. That's, I suppose. Very happy. That's a great strategy. If you're, I'm going to guess that's a true proper wild card, audience wild card. But honestly, that's a very respectful approach, and I wish her best of luck in the auction, because I don't think it's quite going to come through in the votes, but hey, let's see. You never know.
In my, I think this piece is in my tippy tops of who I love in this round. And
The text piece.
yeah, and again, usually I'm not
Yeah.
a text piece person, but I just
Oh, yeah,
think
there
that
it is. There it is. Let's look at this. What if I catch the virus? What if I already have it? Okay, so this is very COVID-centric.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a COVID anxiety piece because you see the cityscape and you're sort of trapped. It's a bit of a dark cityscape also. Very nice work here.
And
As I was
layering.
saying, usually the text work is very tough to make it translate, but this is probably the best text-based art battle piece I've ever seen.
I agree. And we've been doing this a long time. We've seen a lot of text work, and
Yes.
this is
and
the most
look at
impactful.
that. The negative image, what if,
Yeah.
with the other work in black is the real cherry on top there.
Yeah, and then that kind of soft texture in the sky, and now we're back to Danny Nelson. And this super,
Fantastic.
I like that the illustrative elements of this piece are really tight, and then she's got the expressive mark making with the paint.
Valve engrave. Wow. This looked so much like Henry Haight's painting in the early stages. And now, other than some possible similarities with the color palette and the fact that it's a portrait, it's really its own distinct work for sure. That looks almost 3D. That shading is incredible.
Yeah, that's kind of his calling card is establishing shapes with light and shading. He does a lot of liquid, like capturing and rendering liquid in his studio work. That's always really interesting. And
Like bodies of water and that sort of thing.
no, like drops of water or like people turning into water. And
wow.
yeah, like definitely got to check out his studio work at Valdengrave Art on Instagram if you guys haven't already. Okay, now we're headed over to the auction.
Right over to the auction. Let's see what the auction has to say for itself. So we'll leave this up for a second here. Very exciting. Very exciting. I'm going to go pop in. I'm not going to give you any results, but I am going to pop in myself and take a look at the results. I don't know if that's rude, but
we just have the insider info.
We do have the insider information.
But you guys can affect the insider info. So if you haven't voted yet and you're in the UK, artbattle.com/vote, and all of these awesome pieces, as you can see, are up for auction as well. So if you're enjoying the creation aspect of this and are looking at that blank spot in your living room and wondering what should go there, well, we have news for you. We have 12 awesome paintings that you can buy.
Absolutely, and I'll give you an update on the auction because the wording there is pretty small, but all of the paintings from round one have a bid, and they are well on their way. Our top painting in round one is on that Henry Haight painting, and it is a fierce auction with 6 bids on it already, and the last bid only 5 seconds ago. In round two, we're just getting started on the auction in round two with 3 bids in the last minute. No doubt these will all get a lot of attention from the auction and the folks in the room there.
Yeah, very cool. Seeing this wild card piece from farther away too just brings more flames to mind.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, there's a bit of a flame convection thing going on for sure, but it's too pink.
For
Okay,
the
there's
flame.
the look at those lovely shirts. There's the Dogecoin Foundation logo on there.
That's cool.
Oh,
Simon,
our
I
artists
think you
are.
need to get them to send you one of those.
You want one too?
Yeah, of course I
I'll see
do.
what I can do. I have the Art Battle Bristol ones used to be really like amazing colors. I have one in blue and one in yellow. I wonder what we'll see out of Art Battle Bristol this time. Hopefully something very classy but also distinctive, you know.
So good.
Oh, you can see the auction prices are jumping up there in that little image. Next time we'll get the artist names and the prices a little bit larger font for you there. Oh, the first round auction heating up. 10 more bids. And same in round two. Okay, well we're gonna go sharpen our pencils and take a look at the voting. And we will be back with you in about 20 minutes for round 3 and the conclusion of Art Battle London.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. A lot of that's some wet paint right there. We're seeing all in a monochrome palette, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
Heavy bottom could be seeing figures. Yeah, here's our artist friend. Oh, here that's easel 1. That's
that's easel 6.
no.
Arietta. So Arietta's
Okay,
working
that's
on what looks like a sky.
Yeah.
And then we've got, this is Henry Haight.
This is Henry Haight. Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
I mean, Henry is already got a full portrait done.
Yeah, off to a really strong start. I love the blue and the yellow.
And look at this border as well. All of these artists have incredible fast background and border technique. I mean, that's amazing. It looks like it's airbrush. I don't even know if that's possible.
So
Maybe
I think
so.
that Mark Sloey is using a little bit of spray paint, and just
Oh, yeah, great.
really impressed with the coverage and how many colors he's used already, because we're 2 minutes in. We're literally 2 minutes in.
Yeah. Oh, I like this palette.
This is Diana
Some,
Zada.
Yeah. Fantastic. Another figure, I think, obviously there. Another portrait looks like coming up on the next easel.
From Julian Art Jazz. Oh yeah, loving that line work. Definitely using a flat brush. Oh, not a flat brush.
A
Flat
paint
tip marker. And getting these super crispy angular lines.
Yeah. For anybody who's been painting with Art Battle for a long time, recently the rules are full open materials rules. Artists are allowed to use a very wide range of materials. We provide some, the artists bring some as well. You even see a little bit of spray paint there. Spray paint sometimes restricted because of depending on the venue and the venue requirements. We have to consider the health and safety, but water-based spray paint as an accent is encouraged.
And an exciting addition.
An exciting addition. Yeah.
We'll see if I'm brave enough to bring my cans to the easel one day. And check out what Arietta's doing here.
Yeah.
With bringing in some foliage, looks like.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at some kind of a tree or maybe a bonsai. Yeah. Oh, lot of color choice there. This is Henry Haight, right? Yeah. Wow. What a strong start. Look at that.
Yeah, really
very clearly defined. Usually you might see an artist who, does a quick line work portrait, and it's there. It's clearly the portrait, but the accent colors that sort of bring it alive are they've already completely filled it out. It's very interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, I love that that painterly technique of just putting in all of these colors that you wouldn't necessarily assume belong in that spot, but it comes together.
Yeah. And this is more of a classic portrait, how we see the portrait start in a classic Art Battle sense. But there's a more performative element to what we saw over on Henry's piece. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a 3D painting. You're going to be able to put on 3D glasses, and you'll see the depth.
This is
wow.
So cheeky. I love it.
A 3D painting with a person with 3D goggles looking out of the painting. That is never seen that before. That's
amazing.
A great one.
And is this Thomas Mcdermott? I believe.
I'm not sure.
Yes,
but
it is.
I like the palette. It's it's a little bit messy. I have to see how he deals with that.
Yeah, we were seeing him earlier working with his fingers with the paint.
Oh yeah. It's always a risky move, especially early on. Oh, looks like we lost. Okay, and we're back here. Great.
And Arietta and her foliage, and now we're back. First Revolution.
That's why. That's
bright portrait work here.
I cannot believe how similar that is to what we were seeing from Henry Haight in the first round.
Yeah. He's coming for you. Falden Grape's coming for you. He said, I saw that you did that. I can do that better. So, competition. All right, and now we're back on Damien Burns.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, that's really, really precise work. I really like the little pink touches that are on already. I mean, obviously, you could have added those later, and many artists would have, because
Hmm.
it's sort of a flourish. But to bring it in now is a pleasing experience for the audience because not only do they know kind of where it's going, but it's a little bit more dynamic than just monochrome.
Yeah, and I like this kind of like hand thing that's reaching down. And now
Yeah.
we're on our way over to Sem Arta, uh, and this awesome lion portrait. And
Hmm.
so he does pop culture portraits usually of famous people in a black and
Oh,
white and yellow style. So we're not seeing a human portrait from him right now, but it is true to his style that this is his palette. So it's still very close to his studio work.
so the most famous line I know is like, Simba or Simba's dad. Do you think that's what's going on here, or am I just sheltered?
Yeah. Mufasa, is that you?
Father, thank you.
Yeah, and adding in that pop of highlight and layering this gray over top of the yellow that's already wet. So is that gray going to be leaning green or is it going to keep it fairly clean?
Yeah.
On our juicy palette here.
The paint looks great. A lot of that's Daler-Rowney paint, acrylic paint from them. Thank you so much for the support and allowing us to give artists great materials to create beautiful works.
And they are using it well tonight. And also wanted to take an opportunity to shout out our PBM TV peeps. Thanks for watching with us and enjoying all of this beautiful artwork with us. So we're at about the halfway mark, and now we're seeing Laura Greenway, true to her studio practice, adding in text elements. She describes herself as a text-based artist,
Yeah.
so now we're seeing this in here.
I don't mind saying usually that really doesn't go over well at Art Battle, but this is looking good.
Yeah,
It's the
I think when
There's something about usually it's like it's just a word or something like that, but this is like almost into some cross-disciplinary, poetry work there. We're gonna have to spend some time looking at what that says earlier or
yeah,
later.
yeah, it's inviting you in to pick out what stands out to you.
Hmm.
Okay, and now we're getting these hits of color from Danny Nielsen. I love a green-eyed beauty.
Oof, that's great. Really, really nice timing with the audience as well. Just past the halfway mark, you indicate that you are, though people are thinking you're just going to go pure black and white. Now we have some real splashes in there. Nice.
Subtle, but still providing an element of surprise for the audience.
Yes.
Okay, and Valdengrave doing some blending on the canvas, creating some of those gradients that he's known so well for.
I like the blending. In many cases, in the previous one, obviously it's hard not to compare it to Henry Haight, but it was nice that the pieces, the individual sort of strokes or areas stood out
So he does pop culture portraits usually of famous people in a black and white and yellow style. So we're not seeing a human portrait from him right now, but it is true to his style that this is his palette. So it's still very close to his studio work.
So the most famous line I know is like, Simba or Simba's dad. Do you think that's what's going on here, or am I just sheltered?
Yeah. Mufasa, is that you?
Mufasa, thank you.
Yeah, and adding in that pop of highlight and layering this gray over top of the yellow that's already wet. So is that gray going to be leaning green, or is it going to keep it fairly clean?
Yeah.
On our juicy palette here.
The paint looks great. A lot of that's Daler-Rowney paint, acrylic paint from them. Thank you so much for the support and allowing us to give artists great materials to create beautiful works.
And they are using it well tonight. And also wanted to take an opportunity to shout out our PBM TV peeps. Thanks for watching with us and enjoying all of this beautiful artwork with us.
The paint looks great. A lot of that's Daler-Rowney paint.
So we're at about the halfway mark. And now we're seeing Laura Greenway, true to her studio practice, adding in text elements. She describes herself as a text-based artist.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing this in here.
I don't mind saying usually that really doesn't go over well at Art Battle, but this is looking good.
Yeah, I think when
there's something about usually it's like it's just a word or something like that, but this is like almost into some cross-disciplinary, poetry work there. We're gonna have to spend some time.
7, 6, 5, 4. Paint cloud.
Well, here we are, Morgan, in round 3, the final round.
And we are off. And
We
look,
are
we've got
off.
Laura writing on her hand.
Oh, that's so interesting. Is she going to transfer it, or is that just like
We'll
notation?
see. We shall see. Okay, and we've got Henry here. Henry Haight.
Yeah, so I don't even know who we've got in this final round here, but obviously Henry made it. There you go.
Yeah, we've got...
And is that Valdengrave?
No.
No.
I
Who's this?
believe that is Julian.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
All right. And he's starting with a sketch. And then we've got Danny Nielsen. Also from round number 2. So that's a pretty short break for the people coming in from round number 2. They've literally they've stepped
right
away
back
from the
at it.
easel. They've hopefully been able to go to the bar, grab themselves a drink, and then thrown
Yeah, I
right
hope so.
back up there.
Well, you know what they say, you got to paint your best painting first and then an even better painting in the final round.
Yeah. That's,
so we'll see which of these artists brings it through.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes from Art Battle co-founder Chris Pemberton. All you need to do to win Art Battle is to paint the best painting that you've ever done in 20 minutes and then paint a better one.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Henry's piece feels more reserved somehow. The last piece was heavily sketched out first and then kind of, put together. But this is a really very different approach.
Yeah, and a lot less area of the canvas. He's definitely taking a more central approach compositionally this time around. And we will see if he brings in some of that kind of signature vibrancy that we saw in the first round. And Julian here, off to a super strong start. Going in with the red.
I think he's gonna do the same. I saw the blue. I saw some blue in there. Am I imagining that? Is there no blue yet? I think we're gonna see the same 3D technique.
Oh, so
Maybe just a little
cool.
whisper. Yeah, it is. It's really cool. I hope somebody pulls out some of those 3D glasses and we get to see it. We get to see it. All
Yeah.
right. And who have we got here? This is Danny, I think, right?
Yep. So, will Danny establish so much up front like she did in the first round? Oh, and now we've got Laura is laying down a lot of masking tape, kind of centrally and in a
Oh,
circle. So looks like she's going to be creating a void. So she's got a plan. She is not improvising. She's definitely coming with a plan.
right. That's nice. It takes a lot of confidence to plan the full two paintings. So, I'm gonna make it to that final round.
I'm into the red and then that kind of like blush color going over the like sienna yellow that Henry's
Absolutely.
got going.
A very different palette and even sort of philosophy from the first painting. I'm really impressed by Henry's diversity there.
And Julian, just wow, 4 minutes.
Oh my God, this is a person wearing the mask of a dragon
So
as a
cool.
headpiece.
So cool.
It's really something.
Oh man. Wow, and we've got Danny going with almost a profile view, a 3/4 view, and that's hard. A 3/4 view is a
Yeah.
really can be a
Wow.
really
And look at
difficult.
that shadow. Yeah,
Yeah, it's giving me Tank Girl vibes so far.
definitely. Definitely. Bit of a modern Sin City situation in there
Yeah,
too.
you can definitely sense the graphic novel influence
Yes.
in Danny's work in the way that she's approaching the shadows in a fairly compartmentalized way.
And I think that the approach also expresses movement. Like you can kind of feel like that there's a vibration to it, even though it's fixed on the canvas there.
Definitely. And I think the way that she's getting that movement is in the tapering of the brushstrokes. So she's starting off fat and going to thin to kind of delineate where the movement is going. And then we've got
Wow.
this heavy palette work, palette
So
knife
this is
work
obviously
with Laura.
that's the one with the void.
Yeah.
That's Danny, right?
Hmm.
Oh no, that's
Laura.
Laura. That's Laura. She's gonna make that void. I probably do the whole thing black or almost, and then pull out that circle in the center, which
Hmm.
is gonna be a fantastic frame and interesting to see what she'll create.
So I think that Henry's taking his time a little bit more with this piece. We're seeing kind of shorter strokes with a
Uh-huh.
little bit less urgency.
Yeah, but and you still see the color blocks sort of distinct.
Yeah.
It's sort of the like the shading gradient as expressed through a very polychromatic palette is still there. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. And whether or not he will use the negative space or keep it negative.
Hmm. Well, I'm really glad we were able to get from our friends over at Dalarowny some of these paint markers. I believe that's from the kit, and that's uh, a really exciting portrait so far. I love the alive, vibrant feeling that you get from fast paint marker work.
Yeah, it's so just the immediacy.
Hmm.
And you're
And which
so
is
on it with the movement in this piece.
right. I was gonna say it's the same here. I mean, and with this is, I think in some ways for me anyway, it's more impressive because this is done with a brush. So that's, there's a little bit more technique. Well, I don't even, that's not true, but it takes perhaps longer years of experience to
Yeah.
express that in the same way as it
Different
would with a marker.
technique, different types of control needed for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
execution.
Oh, look at this. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. It's going to be all poetry and words around the edge, then the content in the center. I'm really pleased that Laura is here in the final round. It's a tough battle to pick like an emotionally difficult issue and try to express it through. And sometimes I think artists hope that well, that sometimes that might carry the artist through the issue alone. But in this case, that was such a beautiful piece, and yet still legitimately connected to the issues and the difficult issues that she's trying to explore. So really kudos to Laura on this work already, and having been in the final round.
Yeah, absolutely. Strong visually and strong conceptually. And concept is not necessarily always the focus in AB. So, yeah, again, kudos.
It's usually very, what you see is what you get imagery, but I love it when it goes deeper.
And here
we are
again.
back with spray.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell that I'm enjoying this technique?
I can
it.
see you. We got to get this one on TikTok and show the Art Battle community, like, don't forget about this technique.
Yes.
This is a good one. Although
Julian Art
he's
Jazz.
only using it. Yeah, Art Jazz. We should name them the first time we saw them after the artist. What is that? That's the Art Jazz, spray guard technique.
Yeah. It's the 5-point can exploding heart technique.
Yes, there you go, exactly.
The movement from Danny Nielsen here, just wow, just really so impressed with this piece, and I'm also digging the eyeball is like negative, like she's used that to connotate that it's a light colored eye.
Well, I'm only guessing, but I think we're going to see the same kind of color addition that we did on the previous piece, and that you'll get a pretty vibrant eye color when that's dry and ready to be layered. So here it is, just as predicted by some of us here in the commentary team, that it's words around the edge and in the middle, and that's cool. It might be too simple. We're just over halfway.
Yeah,
just under halfway gone. So it should be interesting to see what else comes in there. But if that's just pure monochromatic with text, I bet you that's not enough to take it over the top.
But this electric neon green here, we were wondering.
I love it. Look at the personality. Look at the personality of this guy.
The flow of the hair, and just so great.
That's funny. It's actually I have a friend. It looks almost like a portrait of a friend of mine, Jesse Train. Jesse, I'll tag you later. You got to check this out. 10 minutes gone in the second round.
All right, and if you are in the UK, you can go to artbattle.com/vote to cast your bid, or votes and bids online. All of these pieces are up for silent auction as well. If you're feeling super connected, watching these pieces being created, just like we are, we're loving this live action here, and you want to take it home with you, we will ship it to you.
Yeah, we'll ship it to you. Shipping's is not expensive, and we'll make it happen. And you can start or build your collection today with Art Battle. It's a fantastic way to do it. This is truly a unique piece. In many ways, the energy of the whole room is encapsulated in the piece. So if you like rare, what we've got for you is rare art right here on the screen and in your home.
Yeah, I would say the emotion coming from Danny Nelson's piece is visceral.
Yes. You really feel that energy from that character.
Yeah, just
I'm very curious. I know she's going to bring color into it, and I'm really curious what it is. Is this Laura's hands completely covered in black?
Yes. So
that's cool.
And she's not afraid of
forming part of our like visual experience right now as a shape piece at the bottom. Very cool.
Yeah, she's definitely really engaged in the performative aspect of live painting here. We see that she's got some text on her body, on her face, and that she's just like gloved herself with this black paint on both hands. Paint. So is that
on both hands? She's got "What If" written on her face too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, she's earned every bit of what she's got so far, that's for sure.
The color usage from Henry Hayter is so interesting. We're seeing a little bit more blending, I think, in this piece, but still getting that painterly, compartmentalized color stuff going on. And then on the bottom shoulder, it looks like we've got a tattoo kind of going. So that's an interesting element that's been added as well.
Oh yeah,
And I like
that's a
from
nice detail.
and this from this viewpoint too, we can see the ridges in the paint and just how textural this piece is.
Hmm. That'd look great. Any room in the house.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool.
This is
This
so
in a
cool.
way feels a little bit more Japanese comic book art even than Danny's work.
Yeah.
There's something about the sharpness of this that's both sort of a graph style and also a little bit Japanese animation. Very, very cool.
Absolutely. And there's even though it is so graphic, and that we're in this limited color palette, there is subtlety there as well. There's little sprays and hits of gradient coming into shadows, a little bit under the cheek. So even though it is a piece that's very line based, there's still those subtleties existing. Oh, and here's our color hit from Danny.
Oh yeah, look at that.
This
I
is
bet we
sick.
get one more too. The eye. The eye is
So
clearly going to
good.
be an even different color. This is good. This is, I mean, it's the same technique from the previous round in terms of like building out this character and then literally bringing it to life with the color that the audience, I don't know, it's a real contender because of it. Because what happens is people are circling in the room, you know, the slow tornado of art appreciation, as we like to say. And so you come around and all of a sudden, bam, it's like a totally different painting. And I think that's going to sway a lot of hearts in the room. So that's might have our top artist there.
Yeah, just such a careful attention to time management from Danny, I think.
Yeah, really good work.
And we're just at about five
This looks
and a
to
half
me
minutes
almost like
left.
on Laura's work here. This almost looks like a bit of a burning piece of paper sort of thing, which is kind of neat. There's a bit of a like being torn apart by the elements, by fire, by wind, something like that.
Yeah.
On whatever this object is that's hurtling through space. So that's very cool.
I wonder if she's encountering any material issues working with the marker so close to wet paint. If that's
Well, at least it's black and black. So
yeah, but
the
the paint can kind of choke the marker.
Definitely. But you know, I think it seems to be working out for her.
Ooh, the fuchsia.
I wonder how far out. I wonder how much of this white space we're going to lose in this Henry Haight painting. I feel like, I mean, this is a great piece, but if that's raw canvas in the negative space, you know, or whatever in the white canvas behind, I think we might. I don't know. I feel like the audience might want more than that. But if he keeps going with this, like, sort of, you know, this expanding color transmission coming out of the side of the character, that might do it. But hey, let's see.
And with all of these different color placements, I think they kind of harmonize as you get farther away from the piece. So the figure being a little bit smaller is working really well to this technique. You're getting that harmonization.
Very cool. Well, and we should let you know that voting and bidding, silent auction bidding, are open now. You're welcome to pop in through the link, through the personal link that you have, or one you can get at artbattle.com/vote if you have a UK phone number. And that is coming up. We're only just under 4 minutes left in the final round.
Wow, these artists are killing it. This is a really strong final round. I would say this is one of the strongest finals I've seen in a little while.
I think you're right. I think so too. I mean, we had some good work in Chicago and Wichita Falls, but there were sort of a few standouts and then a few who didn't make it translate. But this is going to be a tough vote for this audience. I don't know what we're gonna see here, but
there's that hit in the eye that you were looking for.
Yeah, red also. I wouldn't have guessed. I thought we would see blue, green, something in there. Red on red on red. I mean, it's stunning, no doubt. I bet it doesn't do it though.
You know what? I'm into it. I'm such a junkie for a limited palette. The more limited the palette, the more I love it. And like, I do love a really colorful work, but I find that there's a specific challenge in using a limited palette, and being an artist that uses a limited palette myself, I understand that challenge. So I gotta say I disagree with you there.
Okay,
Art
well,
battle.
let's see what the
Art
audience
battle.
thinks. Art battle. It's not called art friendship yet.
And if you're feeling as strongly as we are in your opinion about these works that are being created, we want to hear it in the comments. We know that you guys are watching on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Who are you loving?
We'll
What techniques
Go
are
ahead,
standing out to you?
Let's see what people have to say on Facebook here. Yep, come on. We want to hear it. Which techniques do you love? I know you're there. 2 minutes remaining. We'll have a little bit to chat about after the end of this round, and we tally the votes, and we're going to get to announce the winner tonight in a few short minutes after the end of the round.
So exciting.
These pieces are really killing it.
And again, a big shout out to our viewers at PBM TV, pbmtv.org, who are watching our stream right now. Thanks for sticking with us and enjoying the art. This is so epic. I actually had this haircut at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, I
remember
did.
that.
It was a bit intimidating, more intimidating than I think that I am. It was not necessarily fitting, but this piece is intimidating. It's wearing it well.
Oh, I love this with the handprint. Mine blurred out for a bit. It's back now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unexpected.
Oh, I'm really pleased to see the color brought in, but also that's so a handprint. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, very impactful. We've also got
So personal, right? We like, as if it wasn't personal enough to connect with this artist. We now literally have her handprint in the middle of it. Really beautiful. Laura, I don't know, might have upped your chances right there.
Yeah, Laura Greenway. And Henry just killing it with the very careful layering. Like, we've got some chaotic movement in here with the colors, but it's all actually harmonizing really well, and everything is intentionally placed. And we've got Julian Art Jazz has signed.
Nice,
Sealed,
good work.
delivered. He's finished, and just
7 seconds
on
left.
time.
Let's see if we can get some local sound, see what happens here. They're having a good time anyway, that's for sure.
Julian Art Jazz and Laura Greenway. Warning already, the auction is closed or is about to close for the first two rounds. Shortly, please note you can still vote for your favorite artists, and we will be. Huge thank you to Dale Rowney for sponsoring this event and Dogecoin for sponsoring this event. Also, pound sterling or Dogecoin. It's up to you. Speak to you soon.
Well. Get your votes in, folks. We will see who is our champion. That champion artist who is selected tonight at Art Battle London will go on to compete in the London City Championships, and ultimately the winner of that event will go on to the UK National Championships.
Ooh,
we have events
high
also
stakes.
high stakes. Yeah. So the other cities, we have Bristol, Manchester, Cheltenham, Bath, and a number of other UK cities. If you're in the UK and you're excited about seeing Art Battle, come to a town near you. Don't hesitate to reach out to the Art Battle team here. You can find us at artbattle.com, and we'd be pleased to be in touch.
And we are also booking artists for many of these events, so don't be afraid to apply. If you're watching and you're envisioning yourself and you're thinking, what would you do at the easel? Show us. Apply. We want to see what you got.
We have lots of spots available, and we do our very best to be as inclusive as possible. You don't have to have some art background, as you probably not heard, because Morgan and I were talking about earlier. No art school graduates here. Some art school dropouts. So we would be happy to see you, even if you started in your bedroom 2 years ago. But if you've got something to share with the world, we would be happy to help you share it through Art Battle. So it'll probably take us some minutes to get the winner, and what we're going to do is give a replay of the last round, so you guys can take a look and see what's what. Yeah, we're going to get that going just now.
Again, so impressed with the quality that we've just seen in this final round. And I cannot wait to hear who the winner is.
Battle to pick an emotionally difficult issue and try to express it through, and sometimes I think artists hope that sometimes that might carry the artist through the issue alone. But in this case, that was such a beautiful piece, and yet still legitimately connected to the issues and the difficult issues that she's trying to explore. So really kudos to Laura on this work already, and having been in the final round.
Yeah, absolutely. Strong visually and strong conceptually. And concept is not necessarily always the focus in AB. So, yeah, again, kudos.
It's usually very, what you see is what you get imagery, but I love it when it goes deeper.
And here
we are
again.
back with spray.
Yes!
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell that I'm enjoying this technique?
I can. I can
it.
see you. We got to get this one on TikTok and show the Art Battle community, don't forget about this technique.
Yes.
This is a good one. Although
Julian Art
he's
Jazz.
only using it. Yeah, Art Jazz. We should name them the first time we saw them after the artist. What is that? That's the Art Jazz, spray guard technique.
Yeah. It's the 5-point can exploding heart technique.
Yes, there you go, exactly.
The movement from Danny Nielsen here, just wow, just really so impressed with this piece, and I'm also digging the eyeball is negative, she's used that to connotate that it's a light colored eye.
Well, I think I'm only guessing, but I think we're going to see the same kind of color addition that we did on the previous piece, and that you'll get a pretty vibrant eye color when that's dry and ready to be layered. So here it is, just as predicted by some of us here in the commentary team, that it's words around the edge and in the middle, and that's cool. It might be too simple. We're just over halfway.
Yeah,
just under halfway gone. So it should be interesting to see what else comes in there. But if that's just pure monochromatic with text, I bet you that's not enough to take it over the top.
But this electric neon green here, we were wondering.
I love it. Look at the personality. Look at the personality of this guy.
And the flow of the hair, and just so great.
That's funny. It's actually I have a friend. It looks almost like a portrait of a friend of mine, Jesse Train. Jesse, I'll tag you later. You got to check this out. 10 minutes gone in the second round.
All right, and if you are in the UK, you can go to artbattle.com/vote to cast your bid, or votes and bids online. All these pieces are up for silent auction as well. If you're feeling super connected, watching these pieces being created, just like we are, we're loving this live action here, and you want to take it home with you, we will ship it to you.
Yeah, we'll ship it to you. Shipping's is not expensive, and we'll make it happen. And you can start or build your collection today with Art Battle. It's a fantastic way to do it. This is truly a unique piece. In many ways, the energy of the whole room is encapsulated in the piece. So if you like rare, what we've got for you is rare art right here on the screen and in your home.
Yeah, I would say the emotion coming from Danny Nelson's piece is visceral.
Yes, you really feel that energy from that character.
Yeah, just
I'm
killing
very
it.
curious. I know she's going to bring color into it, and I'm really curious what it is.
Mhm.
Is this Laura's hands completely covered in black?
Yes, yes. So,
That's cool.
and
That's
she's
cool.
not
Her
afraid
hand
of
is forming
applying.
part of our like visual experience right now as a shape piece at the bottom. Very cool.
Yeah, she's definitely really engaged in the performative aspect of live painting here. We see that she's got some text on her body, on her face, and that she's just like gloved herself with this black paint here on both hands.
Paint.
So is that
on both hands?
uh,
Oh, she's got "What If" written on her face too.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Well, she's earned every bit of what she's got so far, that's for sure.
The color usage from Henry Hayter is so interesting. We're seeing a little bit more blending, I think, in this piece, but still getting that painterly, compartmentalized color stuff going on. And then on the bottom shoulder, it looks like we've got a tattoo kind of going. So that's an interesting element that's been added as well.
Oh yeah,
And I like
that's a nice detail.
Mm-hmm. And this, from this viewpoint too, we can see the ridges in the paint and just how textural this piece is.
Mm-hmm. That'd look great. Any room in the house.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool.
This
This
so
in
cool.
a way feels a little bit more Japanese comic book art even than Danny's work.
Yeah.
There's something about the sharpness of this that's both sort of a graph style and also a little bit Japanese animation. Very, very cool.
Absolutely. And there's even though it is so graphic, and that we're in this limited color palette, there is subtlety there as well. There's little sprays and hits of gradient coming into shadows, a little bit under the cheek. So even though it is a piece that's very line based, there's still those subtleties existing. Oh, and here's our color hit from Danny.
Oh yeah, look at that.
This
I
is
bet we
sick.
get one more too. The eye is
So
clearly going to
good.
be an even different color. This is good. This is, I mean, it's the same technique from the previous round in terms of like building out this character and then literally bringing it to life with the color that the audience, I don't know, it's a real contender because of it. Because what happens is people are circling in the room, the slow tornado of art
Mhm.
appreciation, as we like to say. And so you come around and all of a sudden, bam, it's like a totally different painting. And I think that's going to sway a lot of hearts in the room. So that's might have our top artist there.
Yeah, just such a careful attention to time management from Danny, I think.
Yeah, really good work.
And we're just at about
This looks
five and a
to
half
me almost
minutes
like
left.
on Laura's work here. This almost looks like a bit of a burning piece of paper sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of neat. There's
So we want to thank everyone who's taken part tonight and everyone who stayed to support their fellow colleagues and artists as well. It's really appreciated. It's been one hell of a launch. Thank you. From the feedback I heard, you seem to have enjoyed it. It's been one hell of a competition with amazing artists taking part. I'd like to thank you all one last time. Cheers for Laura Greenway. Danny Nelson. Julian my pleasure to announce that the winner of the inaugural art battle in London is... Congratulations! One second, I'm just going to give him the trophy. Hey Julian, do you think you could go around and come on stage with me? So, Julian has won this trophy, made by yours truly and her boyfriend. Thank you, Philip. And a little gift from our sponsor, De La Rowney, and the chance to be featured as our featured artist at the next art battle. Thank you so much. Did you want to give a little speech? No.
Can you go to me? I have to say thank you to everyone that voted. Thank you to all the other artists. I just love being around artists. I paint on my own far too much. I have to say, I was so nervous about today. You just don't know what to expect. And I woke up this morning. Oh, shit, sorry. Yeah. Is that all right? And as I was. As I was making my daughter cereal this morning, I said, I'm so nervous. She goes, Dad, don't be nervous. That's why I did it. She goes, you're the best. And I said, no, but I'm still nervous. I don't care if I'm the best. I was like, the great thing about painting in front of people is butterflies are really, really, really good for you. And this is me getting out of my comfort zone. I turned 50 this year. I'd get out of the damn house more often. And I've had such a good night. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for just making my night. And my kids will be very happy. So, appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good night, guys. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Your water's just here. Thank you so much for coming. Our next event will be sometime in February, early March, date to be confirmed, and hopefully the Boston crew will have us back, because we've been so well behaved. You never know, we might hire out the dome, which is ever so slightly bigger. If you voted, thank you. If you have bid, you will probably receive a text very shortly to say that if you've won your bid, and with a link.
All right, well, there you go. Julian Johnson. Well, fantastic to have a new winner in Art Battle London going to the London City Championships.
Woo! Yeah, Julian Johnson, aka Julian Art Jazz. He brought so much technique, so much like tightness to his illustrative qualities of his work, and just really, really well executed. This was a really intense final round, and a high quality event overall. So big shout out and thank you to all 12 of the artists who performed with us tonight, and also to our wonderful team in London who put on a spectacular inaugural show. Great job, guys. And also to Dollar Rowney for all of the excellent supplies and support of their sponsorship at the event tonight, and to all of you lovely people watching out in the internets on PVM TV, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's been a pleasure interacting with everybody.
Yes, thank you so much. And we will be back. The next Art Battle live stream show is on Tuesday, and that is broadcasting live from the room at Art Battle Toronto. And you will see